All right, everyone. Now it's time for a pitch to the people of Argentina. You should definitely vote for Javier Milei. Link in the description. This is Dankula, who is a chucklehead. He posted this. This is Javier Milei talking about leftoids and stuff like that some time ago. And I meant to make this video, but I kept having to push it back. But then I realized that the main Argentinian election, I think, is in the middle of October. So you still got plenty of time, but you should definitely be making your friends and family at least aware of how fucking hilarious this dude is. Firstly, he looks like he's going to be cast as Doctor Who, which I find spectacularly funny. In fact, I think he's almost a doppelganger of one of the Doctor Who's from the 80s or something. I can't remember which one it was because I'm not a Whovian. Although I take a casual interest. And I've watched some episodes, especially when I was a kid, the older ones, and thought it was funny. And he looks like he's auditioning for Doctor Who. He's a firebrand. Listen to him go on this one. Oh yeah, leftists, you should ignore them. They're pieces of crap, basically. And they call him the Argentinian Donald Trump, although I would point out, actually, he's a little bit more libertarian than Trump, actually. Donald Trump, I mean, I've never claimed that Donald Trump is a libertarian. Like, I lean more towards the classically liberal / quasi-monarchist, I suppose. I'm not an ANCAP on economic issues like Milei is. But when you want to peg Argentina's currency to the US dollar, or rather swap it out entirely for the use of the US dollar, which may or may not work economically or even be permitted, but it's worth a try. Definitely you need economic reform. Clearly, under him, Argentina wouldn't be joining BRICS at the beginning of next year. I don't think that would get signed. And you're talking about the need to have more guns in society, so that's a good thing. And to have massively lower the tax rate, that's a good thing. Argentina is really missing out if they don't vote for this dude. Now, he actually came in as a surprise to many people there, first in the primary polling. So, primary voting, rather. So everyone in Argentina participates. I think it's mandatory that you vote if you're eligible. And he actually came out ahead. He was consistently quite a bit behind in polling, but had a last-minute surge. We'll see whether he's hit a ceiling of some sort at some point before October. My hope is the people of Argentina are wise enough to say the system is not working, let's muss it up. Now, people all over the world have been doing this. You've had, for example, the rise of UKIP and Brexit in the UK. Everyone was told it would destroy the UK and lead to a depression. Did it? No. It led to sovereignty. The UK has its own domestic problems to deal with, but they have one less problem to deal with now, which is Brussels authority. The United States went with Donald Trump. We were all told, with a finger wagging in our face, we were told by the system, if you elect Trump, you're going to have a depression, you're going to have a World War III, everything will fall apart. Did that happen? No. Until the China virus was released on purpose, we had no problems at all. The economy was going along just fine. Inflation was low. It was historically quite low. There were plenty of jobs. Everything was perfectly hunky-dory. Trump would have, by the way, in the absence of Hong Kong, the lockdownerism, Trump would have absolutely coasted to re-election. He got improperly blamed for what happened by a fickle public, unfortunately, which was propagandistically designed in nature, and then there was further honking going on as well. Look at Brazil. Under Jair Bolsonaro. Were things improving? Well, I mean, everyone was told that he was a fascist. Well, Brazil didn't suddenly haul off and decide to invade its neighbors or something like that. Reform was going on. Again, the economy began improving, etc. Rinse and repeat. Every time that an outside group tries to rise up, the system tries to tell you they are extreme. But they're not extreme, it's just that the Overton window has shifted in the direction of whatever the establishment has designed. Your mind, therefore, is programmed to believe that what they're saying is extreme. How is it extreme what he says in this clip? Nothing he says is extreme. Hey, we shouldn't have to parlay with communists. That's not extreme, the communists are the extreme ones. And historically the ones that actually embark upon the kind of pogroms that people like Javier Milei are typically expected to actually undergo. There are a handful of examples of nationalistic genocides, most of which tie in with socialist policies, you'll note, much like the Nazi Party. It's called National Socialism for a reason. We want socialism, we just want it for only our native ethnic population. That's basically it. And socialism plus a smile. Socialism plus the crooked cross, basically. Is no different from Stalinist policies on many levels, actually. Argentina would be crazy to pass up this opportunity. By the way, we can try to build a multinational coalition of populous nations that instead of having globalism, we have sort of a global confederacy so that people can actually have sovereignty, actually have a culture, and so forth, and yet they work together. This would prevent war. It would increase trade output. Everything would be better in such a world. Smash the globalist system. So open borders for all, live in the pod, eat the bugs, Klaus Schwab and George Soros and shit will run everything. Don't worry, proles. You don't even need to think for yourself. We've got a cybernetic implant for that. Don't worry. Forget about your troubles. Forget about your family. Just sit there and vegetate on the couch as an AI system running a bunch of drones farms your crops for you. We can have that kind of world. Oh, you'll have a house. It'll just be a shitty house. It'll be commie block or sub-commie block. You'll have food. It's just it'll be ground up bugs and arugula. I mean, I like arugula too, but, man does not live on arugula alone. Or we can try a world in which classical liberalism, which is really more what he's talking about here, predominates, in which people can express themselves, in which people can do what they want, in which countries trade, and there's travel, and there's cooperation, but they don't constantly censor one another's populations, and you don't have globalistic TPP-style trade deals allowing countries to exploit one another's small business labor. That's basically what Javier Milei appears to have in design. Argentina leering off into a classical liberal country would be great. There'd be another country in the world other than the United States, and really a handful of others, and that's it, that actually has some semblance of liberty. There aren't many of them. You have to understand that virtually all countries in the world, including the more free ones like the United States, operate under a various form of authoritarianism. There is no longer a classically liberal country to flee to. The more these countries reform and smash their systems apart and move towards that, the better. So Argentina, that's my own personal opinion as a foreigner. I think I'd love to visit your country if it was being run by an ANCAP. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. That's about all. Peace out.